So what we have here is something that we haven't featured a lot here in Hardware Sugar. This is something to do with network privacy and security. And this product in particular is the Deeper Connect DPN, which is their take on a decentralized VPN. So in this video, we're going to be reviewing the product, we're going to be learning about VPNs, and we'll see if this is the network privacy and security solution for you. So before we dive deeper into the product, let's have a refresher course to what VPN and how the internet works. So each of your devices have a unique address, what is commonly known as the IP, and that goes the same for every other website out there. Because basically websites are servers themselves, they're also devices. So in order to get the resource you need from that server, in order to get that YouTube video from YouTube, or get that latest product from hwsugar.ph, you basically make a request. Sort of instructions on what specific resource or what specific data you need and how you want it to be delivered to you. Now the problem with that is those requests can be tied back to your IP. Or basically that behavior, that data can be tied to your identity. And that is where VPNs come in. VPNs encrypt the data and the requests that you make to another server and also mask your IP. So in the eyes of the other server or the other website or your ISP, those are basically jumbled requests made by an anonymous user. So the data, the behavior, that traffic can no longer be linked back to you. So while VPNs do give you that privacy, they still do have servers of their own. And from what we've seen in the past, those are still very prone to malicious attacks that could lead to personal data being leaked and ultimately defeating the purpose of a VPN. That's where Deeper Connect essentially differentiates itself. Instead of having this large private network, what Deeper Connect gives you is a small decentralized private network. They basically give you the hardware for the encryption to be done locally in your device. So out of the box, the setup is very easy. The package contains a Deeper Connect device itself, a few USB-C cables, an Ethernet cable, and for our particular set, we have the mini router. You can buy just the Deeper Connect device itself and connect your own router to it, basically completing the decentralized private network. Setting up is very easy. You have to first plug in the USB-C cable and the power supply for the device. Then in this case, using a USB-C, connect the mini router thing. Once that's done, one end of the Ethernet connection goes to your internet source. So this can be your router and modem combo, or if you have something like mine, just the modem itself. Once everything is plugged in, we go to the admin setup. We're given a specific address for the network. So first, you want your device to connect to the Deeper Connect Wi-Fi network. You should be able to see it there. There are detailed instructions, including the credentials in form of a QR code. Once done, you log in using the credentials, and you basically have a dashboard. This is basically super similar with any other VPN setup, or even some router UI setups out there. So you have seen this before. The hardest thing to set up about this, it's not even super hard, it's just, something that we're not super familiar with, is the certificate installation. But then there are gigantic banners inside the UI itself. Once the certificates are installed, you're basically set up. All of your traffic is now encrypted, and depending on how you set it up, is routed in different locations in the world. So inside the dashboard, there are stuff like this. So there's basically a list of all your connected locations, some statistics about the memory, the CPU usage for the device itself, and also your download and your upload rates. And there are also notifications here. You can see that there are logs of some sort, but these are basically local logs of basically IP addresses and requests. It's not being saved in servers, unlike in traditional VPN solutions. So continuing in the dashboard, there's access control, there's the DPN, which is basically the main attraction for this device. You have a smart route, which basically lets the device decide which route to take in terms of the location for each application or each website. Or you can also set this in full route or basically disable it. If you disable it, this is going to just be a normal routing, so it's going to be coming from your own location. Next is we have this is super nifty, this is the app relocator. So another really popular function of VPNs is that they can route or they can basically spoof your location to be somewhere else. So for example, if you have an app that blocks you geographically, for example, Netflix or other subscription services, you can basically make it seem like you're coming from a different country. So what we have here is I tested Netflix on this. I basically used Canada as my location, and with the Canadian Netflix, I can watch certain shows that are blocked in the Philippines. Another nifty feature in the dashboard is the ads blocker. It has two different blockers. Number one is the DNS filter and the HTTPS filter. Once this is set up, it basically functions as an ad blocker like the extensions we've seen in other browsers. But testing it, we've seen that it kind of misses some of the ads out there, especially YouTube ads. And I've already done the warning here. So it says here that if ads cannot be properly filtered, you have to clear the cache of the browser and restart the device. I've already done that. Sometimes it does show, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, it's not as 100% reliable as browser extensions. Another is parental control. So with parental control, the wording here is basically cut and dry. It's basically not safe for work or not safe for kids content or social media. So if you have troublesome kids who are addicted with social media, you can block their usage. Next is the security. So you can customize DNS rules and some settings, and you can also see the logs for the connected devices. And the last two features here are something that we haven't had a lot of time testing. So first is Rust Desk. So Rust Desk is a sort of port forwarding and public IP service. So you can make your device accessible by the public. So it can be a game server, it can be a host for a website, but we haven't had a lot of time with tinkering with this. Another is the mining aspect. So there is a staking tutorial here. Basically, with every usage of this device, you can passively gain income, and basically it's easy to set up. You just link your crypto wallet on it, and you basically earn coins by sharing your bandwidth to different Deeper Connect users. Again, we didn't have a lot of time testing this, but we've seen a lot of positive reviews from different reviewers, and some users in the early days even reporting of gaining $115 a month, passively lending bandwidth to other users. I've been using this on and off for a couple of months now, alternating between direct connection to my ISP and to the Deeper Connect. And a concern for VPNs is basically lag or high pings. Basically, there's a middleman going in between your device and to the service that you want to connect to. In gaming, I've tested World of Warcraft. Currently, I'm on a US server in World of Warcraft, and generally, I do get 250 milliseconds of ping, which is very acceptable for MMORPGs. But with this Deeper Connect on, I gain about 40 to 50 milliseconds more. So I go into the 299 or 300 milliseconds. That is still very playable for MMORPGs. But for really intense and very fast-paced shooters like Valorant, a 15 millisecond increase in lag or ping can make the difference between winning or losing a match. So that's basically one of the things that you have to consider when using VPNs. And the Deeper Connect isn't immune to that. Casual web surfing, streaming 4K movies from our Plex server at the Hardware Sugar store. I haven't seen a lot of buffering time, so there's clearly no issues there. Using speed tests shows very minimal difference in download and upload speeds. So in very casual use cases like web surfing and even some multiplayer online gaming, the Deeper Connect does not interfere a lot. Maybe do not play a very important or ranked match in Valorant while using the Deeper Connect. So in conclusion, what is the advantage of the Deeper Connect over VPNs? Well, number one, you have full total control of your data. Even though VPNs have been proven to be a force of good that is strictly for privacy and network security, you're still at the hands and at the mercy of the security of the servers of the VPN you're subscribing to. As I've mentioned, we've seen a lot of times where the servers were manipulated or compromised, and that led to user data being leaked. And there's another thing. VPNs are a subscription service. You basically pay a monthly fee, whereas in the Deeper Connect, you buy it once and you enjoy the service for the entire longevity of the device. I can't say for certain how long this is going to last, but basically I've had this on for a few months now. I've been alternating, of course, between direct connection to my ISP just to compare the difference in speed and in lag. And although there is a noticeable lag when it comes to FPS games, virtually any internet activity I do, the Deeper Connect just gets out of the way. Also, without setting up anything, I can basically prove that this does hide my internet activity from my ISP. Well, at least I think, because my ISP has been blocking a specific website that I sometimes peruse. Of course, I can't mention it here, but it pertains to a body of water, a bay, if you may, for a certain faction. So I'll let your imagination run wild with that and figure out what that website is. Using the Deeper Connect, I was able to go to that website and basically enjoy the services of that website. So in terms of pricing, while in the long term, this is going to be a better value than VPN subscriptions, currently the initial price is a bit steep for some of us. It's currently listed at $229, so that's going to be around 13,000 or 12,000 pesos here in the Philippines. But you basically get to keep it for life. Whereas with VPNs, you're always at the mercy of their end user's license agreement. So that's something that you have to balance out for yourself. So do we recommend this product? Well, aside from these kind of steep pricing and some noticeable lag in FPS games, it works as advertised. I can finally watch The Office US using my Netflix. And well, of course, the network security and privacy concerns that this thing addresses. As for longevity, again, this has been turned on for a month or a couple of months now. So while, of course, the verdict is still out there if this is going to last, for the time that I've been reviewing it, it has been solid. It has lasted. It didn't have any issues. So it's basically up to you to evaluate that initial pricing. With this, of course, you have the option with the features it has, like crypto mining of some sort, and smart routing for any of your devices to connect to. This is a solid product, and if you're looking for a different VPN, if you're tired of paying subscriptions month in, month out, then you can consider getting this Deeper Connect Mini. Thank you for watching.